This video is sponsored by Squarespace. I use Squarespace to publish my photography website because I like how simple and straightforward it is. I like how clean and minimal and well-designed their templates are. I think they're absolutely perfect for showcasing photography or really any kind of creative work. And the best thing about Squarespace is that everything is taken care of for you. You don't have to know anything about coding or web design. You don't have to hire someone and spend a bunch of money to, to build a website for you. Squarespace has all the tools you need. You can absolutely do it yourself by heading over to squarespace.com/Dominey and signing up for a free 30-day trial. And then when you're ready to go live, use my last name, Dominey, to save 10% off a new website or domain. So, I'll be honest with you. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be photographing this morning. I don't have a plan. I usually don't like doing it that way. I like to have some kind of idea, some kind of, especially when it's dark and I have to hike somewhere, I like to know basically where it is that I'm going. I've been in this area a number of times before, and I have a general idea of where we are right now, and I think there could be something interesting out this way. I don't know. I've never hiked this way before. Going to be going out between these hills, and there's some definitely some nice rock formations and some boulders out this way. Hopefully some good color. As you can see, the sun is coming up, and it's coming up fast, and looks like it's going to be a beautiful morning. Nice cloud cover, partly cloudy. Looks like the sun is going to be blocking the clouds are going to be blocking some of that sun coming up. So, yeah, let's go check it out. Oh yeah, gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful light. Lighting up the side of this rock face here. Gorgeous. All these nice pieces down here below in the foreground. I like golden hour as much as anyone else, but there is something really magical about blue hour, especially in a desert landscape like this. I feel like it just makes everything look a little less realistic, if that makes sense. Like a little more surreal, a little more otherworldly. I just love this white canvas on the ground here, and all these rocks that are positioned on top of it. All of them kind of cascading off towards the horizon with those hills in the back. And we have a nice gradient of color in the sky. Some nice, sort of nice clouds. They're a little, they could use a little more light, a little more texture. Maybe we'll get more of that as the sun comes up. They kind of just look a little flat right now, but that's okay. I think once we get a little more light, this is probably going to change. This is going to light up a little bit more. But right now, yeah, really, really cool. Of course, I think part of the challenge of shooting this is figuring out exactly, what to include and what to exclude, because there's so many individual rocks that are just kind of thrown around here all over the place. And I just know this is going to be one of those situations where there's going to be some rocks like on the edges of the frame, on the right side and on the left side, and then I'm going to have to figure out, okay, do I want to shoot this wide and include those, or should I push in a little bit and pull them out and remove them from the shot? And so, it's the classic thing of finding order and symmetry in the chaos of all of this, and trying to find some kind of order to it. I think I picked a I picked a pretty good spot back in here. This is surprising. This is really great, really nice. So I think it's time to try and shoot this and not leave any footprints. Wow. Oh, beautiful color. Fantastic. Yeah. Not bad, right? It looks pretty good. And now we're getting some light on these white rocks in the foreground from the sun coming up this way. Not direct light, it's still just kind of like soft ambient light, which is good. I'm shooting my way in. This is something that, is especially true when shooting things like sand dunes, where you don't want to just walk right up to a subject and just, crank your zoom lens all the way to 24, 16 millimeters, whatever. And then take that shot and be like, oh, maybe I should do something more like 35 millimeter or 50 millimeter or something like that. And then you back up and, your shot could be screwed because you got a bunch of footprints in front of it. So generally speaking, I haven't had my coffee yet. I was in too much of a rush. Generally speaking, you just want to, start with a longer focal length is what I always try to do. And see if that works. Take as many images as I can that way. And then just push my way in. And as I get closer, just keep going a little bit wider and a little bit wider. And I think this is about as close as I want to get, because if I go, actually I should probably back up a little bit, because if I go any closer, it's just going to it means I have to then shoot wider, and then everything in the foreground starts getting kind of, everything starts getting kind of big, and the background starts getting pushed further and further away. And everything back there starts getting smaller. So this is one of the reasons why I much prefer shooting using somewhat standard focal lengths. I just like the look of it better. I'm not a big fan of the distortion, but that's just me. Sensational, really beautiful. These rocks up this way, catching some of that late afternoon light, and especially that one up on the hill there, and then these in the foreground here, really nice. Also some nice light on them. And then this giant, absolutely giant boulder here, just on the edge of this stretch of Badlands in central Utah. It's a place I've been to numerous times. As a matter of fact, I just walked by something on the ground over there that I photographed, I'd say it was probably about 6 years ago, a long time ago. And it has not changed at all. And I guess like anyone who does photography and is passionate about their photography, you kind of get your images burned in your head, right? I mean, you remember all these details about them. You remember every little bit. And I can tell you, without even seeing, the original photo, that it is exactly the same as I remember, which is cool. Obviously, this landscape here ages at a completely different speed than me and you and everyone else. It's going to be here far, far longer than any of us. It's been around a whole lot longer too. And I think that's part of what attracts me to it and gets me excited about photographing it, because it does just feel like a completely different world back in here. It's really great. I have tried photographing this landscape multiple times, and I feel like every time I come back, I see something a little bit different in it. I see different opportunities for images. I see different compositions. I'm thinking about it differently. I'm paying attention to different things. And, that's one of the exciting things I think about returning to a place multiple times, because your perception of a place can and will change. It could be a completely different place to you the next time you come back and see it. And so in some ways, like driving in here earlier today, I was kind of like, I don't know, do I really feel like going back there again? I've been there so many times. I don't know, maybe I should try something new. And I do think there is something to be said, though, for sticking to a subject and just squeezing as much out of it as you possibly can. And I feel like the more familiarity I build with a landscape and with an environment like this, the more I understand it, and the more I understand not just, which places to go and photograph, but also how to photograph it, because I've tried it so many times before that I remember which images I liked and which ones I didn't, and which ones I would like to try more of, which ones, which types of images I would like to try more of. And this is definitely something that's exciting to me, the way that the light is hitting these rocks. And it's also conveniently sheltered behind the sun is not, in my eyes right now, because it is quite bright. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to give this a try, and then we'll try some other things. I think I'm a pretty easygoing guy in general, but stuff like this, this just really gets under my skin when I see something like this. This is just a giant mound of broken bottles and glass. What's interesting is that many of these pieces are melting. They're all kind of like collapsing in on themselves and being, transformed into something completely different, just purely from the heat, because it gets so damn hot out here, especially in the summertime. They all almost look like molten lava now, how they're all just kind of like bending and twisting and creating these new shapes. If I had a bucket, I'd be like cleaning all this up right now. But yeah, it's always disappointing when you come across something like this. People can be pretty stupid. Well, the longer I thought about this, the more irritated I got. I mean, who knows when someone else is going to stumble across this? Maybe the next landscape photographer who's inspired by this beautiful landscape here. Well, now it makes more sense. Now I know what actually happened here, because when I was looking over that way, I came across all of these. Target practice. Somebody was obviously, I think they probably set up some bottles here, shot them all, and then just left it all here. Left all their trash behind. Yeah, I feel like I've done my good deed for the day. Feel better. Most definitely. Well, it is just before sunrise right now, and it is amazing to me just how much of a temperature difference there is out here in the American West. Because right now I'd say it's probably about somewhere around 45, maybe 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And a few hours from now, it'll be easily up to 90 or 95 degrees Fahrenheit. And it gets really, really hot. And but it gets cold at night. I'm out here looking at an area that I saw the other day, and I pinned a GPS coordinate for, and thought, well, that looks like it'd be in a good position for sunrise, because there's nothing obstructing it over there to the east. Nothing that would, I mean, there's a little bit of a ridge, but not too much. There's not like a tall mountain or anything like that blocking the sun. And basically the lower, that is towards the horizon, the softer the light is going to be when it comes up. Because otherwise, if there's something tall getting in the way, by the time the sun pops up behind that hill, the sun's going to be kind of harsh and kind of contrasty, especially on a clear, perfectly clear day like this. And so I think I'll be getting some good soft light across all of this here, everything that's around me here. And it is, there is definitely not a singular subject here, not a singular thing. It is the totality of the environment. It is everything. And wow, that is an amazing piece of rock. Wow.